We Gucci?
Chest.
It's recording now.
Ah, cool. Is we live? Is we live? Is we live? Is we live? Yes, yes. You are now tuned into the Rare Podcast. And of course, I'm your host with the most, NK, aka the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. And of course, I'm joined by my lovely co-host. I'll start with the madams today.
Hi guys, Ashley.
Hi guys, I'm Shona.
And we got my brother right there,
Hello.
Jixon. Let's get straight into it. Today I want to talk about the WAP video, specifically the conversation surrounding Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and other female rappers exploring, the content that they explored in the song. But before we get there, what did you guys thought about the WAP song initially, like when you first heard it, just from like a musical perspective? Like, what did you think about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion song?
When I first heard it, I feel like when I first heard it, I didn't like it. I just felt like Cardi B.
Neither did I.
I felt like Cardi B was just weak on it.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, and I haven't gone back to listen to it properly after that. That's all I can say.
Really?
The thing is,
what about you?
I liked the beat, but I don't know. I listen to that music sometimes, but a lot of the time I don't. So it's just like, I heard it, I was like, okay, this is all right. I like the beat. The lyrics are obviously a lot. I heard it, I was like, cool, this is great. And I saw the video, I was like, okay. But yeah, it's what it is.
Nah.
Do you know what? I feel like
yeah, go on.
I listened to like half of it, then I stopped. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, but this is typical Cardi or Meg, so I'm not that surprised in it.
It is.
But then I listened to Nella Rose, her reaction, and I was like, oh, okay. When you look at it like that, okay, it's not bad. Like, I feel like if you're in the mood to like get freaky on your ones or just like feel yourself, then it's a song for you, to be honest. But it is what it is. It's the kind of song.
You know what? Like, obviously, I'm not the target demographic for the song, clearly. But you know what? Like, the song, like the song grew on me over time, and what I can say is enjoyable about the song is the sample. That holes in this house is kind of stuck in my head. Like, it's stuck in my head a lot. So, like, the song, like, so my opinion on the actual song itself is it's a decent song. Like, it's nothing revolutionary or groundbreaking, but it's fine. But I want to know, as the two women on the show, because do you feel like the song is empowering? Because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say, a lot of girls on Twitter saying, oh my God, this song is great. It's allowing girls to, freely express themselves in that capacity, and it's liberating, and more songs like this should be made. What do you feel about the people that have that sort of sentiment and opinion?
I mean, that's their opinion.
Literally.
Okay.
Like,
That's their opinion.
No, I mean, do you think the song's liberating? That's what I'm saying.
Personally, I just feel like it's down to where you're at in life. Do you know what I mean? As we personally right now, it is and it isn't. Like, when I want to twerk for myself, then yeah, calm. Like, it's calm. But other than that, the more empowering song I would say is like Black is King. I know it's not a song, but the whole thing, like, that was empowering to watch that shit.
Right there.
But, do you know what I mean? Like, that whole thing was like, damn, like, I felt like I was a warrior after watching that. I thought I was a queen. But the WAP, I would say, I wouldn't say it's empowering, but it's just like, I can do what I want. It's like, empowering to the sense of confidence, not give two shits about what anyone else around you thinks. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think it's that empowering for like a woman. Like, oh yeah. But it's empowering. It's taking back what's ours in a way. I get when people say that. I actually understand, because you boys are okay with watching videos like Lollipop and Candy Shop, but when girls doing it for themselves, it's a problem. I don't understand.
Yeah, I would say it's not liberating and empowering isn't really the word that comes to mind, but it's a cool song to shake your booty to every now and again, like,
literally.
Yeah, and the whole thing about, obviously the lyrics are very explicit, but it's not like people haven't been doing that since the 90s. Like, people have been talking that mess for a very, very long time. So why people are outraged about this song, I don't know.
But people have been doing that since beyond.
You know what I find weird is that everybody knows this is how Megan and Cardi B raps in the first place.
Thank
so why
you.
is this song that everybody's getting onto it and saying, this is not how we're supposed to be making music, blah, blah, blah. This ain't empowering. This ain't good for my daughters to hear. Like, stuff like that I don't understand, because you know this is their market and this is their brand. And you guys didn't have a problem when they released their other projects and their other songs in the past. So why is it now when they release this song?
I guess because it's both of them together. And people have a problem with the whole, I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree with it, but I guess it's because it's the first collab like this that we've seen where both of the girls, the whole song is about crud.
Okay, but at the same time, there's other songs out there like, what's that Slobber My Knob song?
Slobber My Knob.
Just give
like that is
that song's a bagger.
I don't understand it. That song is wild too, but that doesn't get any heat like this.
Man, them have been talking nasty for time. Like, I just don't.
It's what Gamlem have as well. It's like everyone in hip hop. Hip hop is a crud genre. Like 18 years ago, like Kaya made My Neck, My Back. All you ladies pop yo, like, come on, man. This is what.
If you listen to Lil Kim.
And one album, the start of that album, I could hear somebody beating in the cinema room or something.
Yeah. I remember, yeah. Because even if you listen to Get Money, Lil Kim is talking that real nastiness.
Like, but I guess, but you know what it is? I guess it's because hip hop has never been this commercially viable and commercially popular, and you have big people like Cardi B, who's not only a rapper, who's like an ambassador for Pepsi. We have Megan Thee Stallion, who's one of the highest streaming artists ever. So not only are these female rappers, but these female rappers are extremely popular. So a much bigger audience are seeing it. I mean, you have people like Ben Shapiro, who's essentially a political commentator, commenting on the song, saying how it's bad for women and stuff like that. But basically, we have a much larger audience watching it than those watching the stuff that came previously to it. Because back then in the early 90s and early 2000s, hip hop was still very much a thing that was popular, but was still very much a thing that was catered to the black audience. Now, hip hop is something that white kids from the suburb listen to, people from all walks of life listen to. So I guess that's why so many people have an opinion on it. But the topic I wanted to touch on, gone.
No, I just want to say I get what that person means about how this song, how the song is not good and all that stuff. But at the same time, no one has this energy for the male rappers too. I don't think that, and even if they do, it's not that much people.
They don't. When have you ever heard anyone talking bad about like men saying they're gonna do this to a woman, that to a woman? No one ever
eat her out like this or something like that. Nobody has
that for ages, so I don't.
So like you can have an issue with people's lyrics and all that stuff.
Okay, if you don't like the song because of the nasty lyrics, that's your business. Like, don't listen to the song, but give energy. That's my thing. Just keep the same energy throughout. Don't be having energy for this and don't be having energy for that when they're basically the same thing. Keep the energy the same.
And the thing is, the energy shouldn't exist because really and truly, the kids' argument is dumb. Don't like your kids shouldn't be listening. This ain't made for kids. This ain't meant for kids. Do you know what I mean? It's like the song is clearly talking about some nastiness. Felicia kids, like, you get me? Like,
come on, guys.
Like the show, like my thing is that these girls have chosen to express themselves in the way that they chose to express themselves. That's on them. That's what they want to do. That's the type of content they want to put out, and that's fine. And I feel like sometimes, especially as bad them, like just let them. Like, if the song ain't for you, the song ain't for you. Like, I'm personally not gonna be banging WAP in my house. Because the song ain't built for me. Like, I'm not the target demographic, and that's fine. No. But let the gal have their fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, we got our stuff. You get me? Snoop Dogg on Doggy Style made the song. It ain't no fun. Nate Dogg, bitches ain't shit. Like, they've got bare man them have made songs of this nature, but we don't complain. So if the gal want to make songs of the same nature, let them have it. Like, trust me. And plus, it's to our benefit. It makes the motive more fun with all these gal are dancing to the song and enjoying themselves. Get me? We don't want to be hearing. I don't want to hear, as much as I love Nate Dogg, I don't want to be hearing Nate Dogg at a motive and just have man them. No, fam. Let the girls have their fun and make the music they want to make. That's what I'm saying. And all this political commentary about it's bad for your kids, police your kids, make sure they're listening to the right content, and they shouldn't be listening to Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion anyway. That's my 2 cents on the thing. That's my whole 2 cents on the thing. Because I feel like when it comes to like this, like women need to be this, women need to be that, the alternatives are there.
Women want to do. How about just not telling women what to do? Like, let them do whatever they want. Like, I just don't.
Your business.
Mind the business that pays you. How about?
Somebody said something on Twitter. I think they said, when you guys should be out here chopping wood or fighting wars, you're out here in women's business. And I'm like, it's kind of true. Like, the thing is,
like, go and die in the war, and you're coming to tell me about my makeup.
Exactly.
What's wrong with you?
Like, people act like you have to put your 2 cents in every little thing, like you have to have an input in everything. It's not by force.
I feel like on Twitter, I feel like people need to just, when you're tweeting something, just pause. Like, did anyone ask me? Exactly. If the answer is no, delete the tweet. Because sometimes nobody asked you. So how about just keep your opinion to yourself?
And if it, like, and again, like, the song isn't meant for a half of the man they're talking about. Like, if you like, if the song was targeted towards men and men had an opinion of it, fair enough. The song, literally, the acronym on the song by default excludes man them from talking about it. By default, what the song is about, we don't have the facilities to vibe with that song. So it is what it is. And again, hip hop is crude. Hip hop, the history of the whole genre has elements of this. And I don't like when people say, why can't female rappers like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion be like ex-female rapper, like, let's say, let me give an example, Rhapsody or Little Sims. It's like both genres can exist. Like, you can have the twerky stuff, the party stuff, and you can have the, what, I don't like to use this word, but the quote-unquote woke stuff, and without comparing the two. If you don't like the twerk stuff, listen to the other stuff. It's all right.
That's literally like every single genre. There's different genres in music. And like half of the time, the people that are quoting about these Cardi B and these Megan Thee Stallion music, they won't even take time to listen to like Her Name or Rhapsody or Little Sims and them type of people. They'll probably hear it and be like, nah, I don't want to listen to that. But you still have a problem with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. If you don't want to listen to the other type of people, then just keep quiet overall. That's what it is.
Don't put the gun to your head telling you have to listen to it. So why are you crying about it?
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Like, there's like, people are going to be hip hop music. If you don't like, let's say Taylor Swift comes on, you're not going to sit through it and listen to it. You're just going to turn it off. So you can literally do that to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. If you don't want to listen to it, turn it off.
Yeah, man. Like rap, like, music is an art of self-expression, and if they want to express themselves that way, that's on them. But yeah. On the separate note from WAP, if everyone's ready to move on.
Yeah, we ready.
The big thing that would have...
We ready.
Yeah, okay. The big thing I want to talk about is the BBC. Well, in fact, not even just the BBC. There's multiple layers to this topic to tackle. Okay, but I'll start with the BBC. The BBC, unprovoked, unwarranted, came out and reported the article on BBC News, and they chose to say the N-word, and had a white female reporter say the N-word. Now, she was repeating a racial slur that was said to a victim of a car accident, but the BBC have rightly so come under criticism for saying the word. First and foremost, I'm just going to I know the answer, I'm just going to ask everyone, do you think the BBC were justified to say the N-word? And could you see why they thought it was a right idea to say it?
I don't think they should have said the N-word, especially in this climate as well, after the whole Black Lives Matter movement and everything. And even common sense will tell you. I know somebody was saying something about how the victim's family allowed them to say it or something like that.
Yeah.
Even if they did, common sense would have told you, you're a white person, you should not be saying the N-word either way. You can say literally, the person said the N-word with the hard ER or something like that. You don't have to actually say the N-word. And then like the whole justification for it, I don't like the way people are saying, but no, the family said this, no, but they're reporting it, but they have to say the N-word. You don't have to say the N-word. Like, we all know what N-word means. Like, it's not
Cool.
You just came across that you just wanted to make the response that BBC gave to the backlash. They basically doubled down and said, yeah, like, cool, where we cleared it with our higher ups. And who are your higher ups? Who were the higher ups that cleared this? Like, show their faces. Because I guarantee, because I can bet that most of them ain't black. Some of them might not be. Maybe a few of them might be black. But the point is, you know the rate. You know that the using the N-word will garner a certain response. There's no reason to use it. Everyone understands the context of a racial slur. So, and I believe in that. That's why I rate somebody like Sideman for essentially speaking out against the organization he works for and taking a stand, because people like him are people that are actually going to make a change. People like him are actually people that, cool, even though I work for this organization, I'm not going to allow this behavior to continue. Even though the behavior shouldn't happen in the first place, I have to give credit where credit is due, because he actually stood up for us and spoke against the organization that he works for, and even left, which I respect. I'm not telling every black person to leave BBC, but what I am saying is that if you do work within a company, say something. And I think that's very, very important. And anyone else have thoughts on the issue?
Do you know what? Yeah, I might be the only one who thinks like this. I don't fight the BBC for it. However, I understand why people are angry. Because obviously the BBC, like, it's an organisation within Western society, so there is going to be an element of racism within there. However, obviously, I feel like they said the word because of the family, which obviously that's not an excuse, but if the family wanted them to say it, then all right. However, if that was me in that position to make that decision of, are we going to say this word or not, regardless of what the family said, I would not say it. However, they did, so I mean, yeah. But I do understand when people are angry, because obviously, like, this is big national TV, and you're just saying the N-word just, like, unprovoked. Like, you really could have just said the N-word instead of saying, like, there was
at a time where racial tensions are all-time high as well.
Yeah, with every Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, all of that stuff is still going, and it hasn't finished yet. This wasn't a trend. No. It's still happening. So, like, for you to come and say the big N-word on national TV, I think it was a mistake. Was it racism? I don't necessarily think so. I just think it was a bad decision to make, in my opinion.
Do you feel like it's another situation where the powers that be were more so being unaware and ignorant rather than being flat out racist?
Yeah, I don't think it was racism, because obviously they're not saying the N-word to somebody. They're repeating something that was said in a different sense. Like, they're saying this person was called the N-word, blah, 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 whatever it was. I don't think, obviously, because more likely than not, it's going to be white people at the top. So they'd be like, if the white family want us to say it, okay. But us as black people would be like, don't do that.
Yeah, I hear that. So, Jason, we're going to say something?
No, just agreeing.
Okay. I hear that, and I had the same opinion as you until I saw their response to the backlash, and it was kind of like they didn't even apologize for saying no. We understand this was offensive. We thought red tear, but we realized that we made a mistake. They were just like, no. For spaces the powers that be don't get the message and don't understand the simple social cues that are out there. But the other topic I wanted to touch on, which is semi-related but not related, is the Wiley scandal. Wiley essentially has been blackballed. His I believe all his social media has been taken down. He's been taken down. His videos have been taken down from YouTube, and I don't know if his music's been taken down from streaming services, but there've been threats about that. For those who don't know,
as well.
What'd you say?
He's been banned from TikTok apparently.
Wiley recently came under period. And he was interviewed by many news outlets like Sky News about his comments. He has since said he apologizes for generalizing all Jewish people together, but he still sticks behind his viewpoints and sentiments. My thing with this, of course,
I didn't see the actual tweets. Anyone know what the tweets actually said?
Yeah,
I didn't see the actual. I couldn't find the tweets.
I can't remember. I think it was something regarding again, people comment section, correct me if I'm wrong. Something regarding his management. And he was speaking how like his man gone.
No, he said something about, in fact, there are two sets of people who nobody has really wanted to challenge, hashtag and hashtag KKK, but being in business for 20 years, you start to understand why. But I don't know where the other tweets are.
Okay. So I think from that, he's basically inferring that Jewish people have a lot of control of the industry. Am I off base or am I right? Am I wrong? That Jewish people have a lot of control of the industry, and then that's what led people to like criticize him because it's like you're basically generalizing the whole community of people as one thing. But my thing is that cool. Criticizing Wiley for making anti-Semitic comments is fine. It's justified. Cool. But the severity of his treatment compared to other figures who've done, in my opinion, far worse.
A lot worse.
Far worse, like Katie Hopkins, is not only unfair.
No, it's racist.
It's racist. Like, and we all know Wiley isn't Mother Teresa. He isn't a saint. He's certainly not the most clean figure in public. However, the treatment he's received is unwarranted, especially when you haven't set that presence for other people. Katie Hopkins can, on a regular basis, harass Muslims on social media, harass black people on social media. Our own prime ministers referred to Muslim women as letterboxes. Our whole prime minister, somebody who's in power as we speak right now. And the treatment that Katie Hopkins and other people like her have received in comparison to Wiley is unfair. And this just shows that the system is very much not built for us. It's very much not built for us. But again, any thoughts on the whole Wiley situation?
The Wiley situation, I didn't really see too much of it because when I came on Twitter, I think that's when everybody was talking about it, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. I just thought, he said something again wild. But now that I'm hearing about it, and like the only issue that I have is like whatever he said, and like it's never good to be what do you call it?
Semitic.
But at the same time, as you said, the same energy is not given to Katie Hopkins because Katie Hopkins has literally been on Twitter for how many years, just talking the most and using freedom of speech as justification, and everybody knows that she's racist. She's been the way she cusses Muslims, black people, even talking about Jewish people,
migrants, cusses everyone.
Yeah, migrants. Like she always has something to say that's negative when it comes to people that are not white. She will go down to marches that have nothing to do with her, protests that have nothing to do with her, and record it and be saying wild stuff, and then gets upset when somebody ats her or slaps her or something. But like Twitter knows what they're doing, and this years ago. see the amount of time that took. Like, that was so long. It took Twitter so long for them to spend them, but Wiley got in a day.
Doesn't that prove Wiley's point though? Like them be controlling and stuff, because look how fast you got to take down Wiley, but take up into a while. Actually, still happens as well, but you know, fast to rip on everyone Wiley. I can't like. Obviously, I don't know exactly what he said, but I got the gist of it. It was obviously he should generalize, but then again, everyone generalizes without even knowing. But I don't think he did any of that, to be honest. I feel like
With Sky, they did the issue that he's worked with. Wow.
And it's like it's funny. It's funny though. Like, even I forgot. Even like Ali, but then you constantly give someone like Tommy Robinson a platform.
Oh, him. Oh.
You start like you get me. Like, you haven't shut down his social media. Tommy Robinson. Still has a platform. He threatened to get a group of his, as the media, like the favorite of the media, a group of his thugs, and try Lives Matter movement, but he still has his platform. He's at most insensitive, in my opinion. At most insensitive, and he gets his entire platform. The entire industry look funny and look a certain type of way. And that's what I'll say in the matter. That's what I'll say in the matter. It definitely adds some form of validity to some of his claims. That's what I'll say about Wiley. But very important that we support art, because clearly this show think that's deemed quote unquote controversial, our platforms will be taken away like that. And if we don't have the support of other people like us, it's going to be very hard for us to build our platforms up again. That's why, again, I keep saying his name, but that's why I feel like whatever Sideman does after this, I'm going to support it. Because I think it's gone.
Yeah. Growth, and it's actually big. Like, from being that, it's just wild.
Yeah.
Same what do you call it, aspiration or something, goal.
Yeah, goals. I feel like it's important for us as Black creatives to have control of our own narratives, because I feel like it's very important for us to have control of our, because once you, and that's why I'm a big advocate for like independence in terms of like independently producing content. Of course, if somebody offers you a bag to produce with a big company, of course, like it would be in your interest to take it, but just know, always have, in my opinion, always have a platform of your own, because you never know how things could change. 1 minute you could be the media's darling, next minute you're public villain number one. I mean, just look at how, even to this day, but just look how before Stormzy became Stormzy, how the media portrayed him, how certain magazines portrayed him, how they call like they say his music incites violence, and it's still, some publications still do it to this day. But he's definitely right now a nation sweetheart. I've seen it with many different type of artists. We're seeing it with certain drill artists. We're seeing it like with certain drill artists make the transition. The media will bring up their past, and that's whatever. But my main point is, I'm waffling, but my main point is, I feel like we need to have control over our own narratives, because they clearly ain't got our backs. Clearly not. Yeah.
But yeah, I think they were just doing a lot. Like, it's like literally like he said what he said, calm. Nobody, and the thing is, nobody's defending what he said. What he said was wrong. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the magnitude of where they were taking it to prove. Cause I think they're trying to prove a point. Like,
do you think they're making an example of him?
100%. Because taking all his videos down from YouTube is actually unnecessary. Because they have the same energy for Katie Hopkins. They didn't have the same energy for the people that took a mess about Meghan Markle. They don't have the same energy.
Wouldn't make it Jane Dawson.
Yeah. The guy that put the monkey picture when Meghan had her baby. They don't have the same energy for him.
Nope.
I feel like they're just doing the most now. And it actually is racist. Because even, what's her name? Was it Nadia Rose? Who's like, his cousin was like, obviously, what she said? She was like, I'm not even.
Like, I'm not
the person to be defending Wiley, because obviously he chat about my auntie, but wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
So this is wrong. So.
Do you think there's anything I'm not saying that we could do about it, but do you see change happening soon? Because obviously within the conversation of race and racism is something that's been happening a lot, especially within this year. Do you see things changing for the better, or do you think that the powers that be will be the powers that be, and institutionalized racism will continue to run the same way it is now? Or do you think that progress can be made or is being made?
Do you know what it is for me? I feel like progress can be made, but I feel like it won't be as fast as we need it to be, and it won't be the kind of progress that we want, because I feel like they're just not going to get it. So I feel like we need to make our own platform so we can big up our own people and put money in their pockets ourselves instead of relying on them, because they're never going to have our best interests at heart. As much as they want to, they probably don't even want to. They're not going to have our best interests at heart. So we need to make our own, like, that's why we big up No Signal Radio, because they're doing their thing. They make their own black radio station. We need to support it. So, and like, we need to make our own black streaming services, our own black YouTube or whatever. We need to just make our own, like, platforms and put content on there so we can dictate what we want to support.
But the others will say, but you're just segregating. Because I remember this criticism happened when Stormzy did was funding black students to go university. I read the comment section of one Twitter post that BBC put up, and the comment section was saying, how can Stormzy strive for equality when he's promoting segregation? Why is this only for black children? Why can't this be for... So like, a lot of people interpret having the best interest of the black community as racism.
It's so jarring. It's actually so long now. Because every time I see something going good for a black person, a white person has to come out and say, but don't you think this is a bit weird, that how you're not including us in it? Why do white people want to be included in everything? Like, somebody on Twitter today, how being black is the biggest flex. One white girl quote tweeted there and said, being white is the biggest flex. There was no need for that. You could have just kept it pushing. Like, you didn't need to open your mouth to say that. Now everybody's dragging her. Not gonna lie,
that's what I'm saying. They don't get it, because obviously we're coming from a place of, we have been oppressed for so long that we big up ourselves. They want to come and say, you're segregated. No. We have been down at the bottom for a long time. So when we want to try and pick ourselves up, can you just leave us alone and let us do what we want to do? If I, with my own hard-earned money, want to big up some black people and send them to university, if you have, like, keep your mouth closed, because none of your business.
Like, majority of these uni scholarships, things and everything, don't even take black people. Most of the time, it's always white. They don't have anything to say about that.
Yeah, because wasn't he sending them to Oxford? Like, how many black people are in Oxford? Name them. Show me them. You can't.
It's actually so jarring, fam.
It's very simple.
And I feel
they really, like, I've noticed during this whole period, I noticed a lot of people just love playing the victim. When you see things about how they're crying about, they have to wear a mask to step into a shop, that shouldn't be a big deal. Just put on your mask.
Oh my God! Did you see that thing on this morning? Yeah, about Karens complaining about them being called Karens.
Them started.
That name.
Please, Karen.
That's a racial slur.
Oh.
Racial slur.
Wait, for people who are unaware, I'm sure most of our followers know, but for people who are unaware, right, the term Karen is used for a white woman specifically who is meddling in black people's business and causing harm or distress to a black person. Right? Cool. Now, on this morning that's on ITV, they decided to interview a group of women named Karen, and they were complaining that them being called Karen is oppressive, it's generalizing, it's affecting them severely. Being name called is affecting them severely because it's hurting their emotions. Actually, it's hurting them. They don't want to be lumped in with the racists.
Then don't be racist. How about?
Like, if you know you're not racist, then why are you complaining?
That's my thing. I feel like people have so much energy for the smallest of things. Like, okay, your name is Karen and you're not a racist and you're upset about it. All right, I understand, babe. But there's bigger issues at hand, like actual racism. Can we maybe keep the energy for that instead of crying that people are calling racist women Karen? I just don't understand it.
What happened to your thing?
My internet is acting. I don't know what it's doing. Sorry.
You might have to record again.
I think it's
still recording.
Oh, got it. We Gucci. But as I was saying, I think it's mad. Yeah, as I was saying, I just don't like the fact that the media has portrayed something as simple as Black Lives Matter, or black people complaining about police brutality as something negative, but they can have people named Karen. And I think it's just reflective that of society. Like, we think we've made progress. We think like Britain tries to paint itself like, oh, like we've made progress, we've evolved. Like, we're not like that. No, you're just as complicit as the Americans you like to criticize. Fix up. Like, the issues are there. Fix them. Please. That's what I want to say. That's what I want to say on the matter. But yeah, like, any final thoughts on the whole Wiley issue, or even the whole issue of, doesn't have to be Wiley, can be about anything we've spoken about today. Final thoughts on maybe Wiley black entertainers being silenced on their platforms, or whatever. Yeah.
I just feel like if you're upset about being called a Karen, then don't be racist. It's as simple as that. Just don't be racist.
About being called a Karen, then you need to get your priorities right. Because I just don't understand it, man. Getting called a Karen, you're crying.
My final thoughts would be, one, to the people who have a problem with the WAP video, relax, you'll be fine. Go listen to other music. Two, support black creatives. All of us support each other. And three, institutional racism is very much alive, and be careful out there. I'm sure.
Yeah, like I said, rap video, feel like you watch something else. In terms of like the whole Wiley and all that stuff, yeah, I just feel like you're saying, like, people like disagreeing with the whole why black people separating themselves. I just feel like for us, in order for us to catch up or even like pass you or whatever, we need to have our own things, because you guys are gonna keep telling us down. You guys can control us if we're under their power. So I hope more and more people support black people, because black people are lit and we create a lot of things that we don't get credit for.
No, we could talk about TikTok and all that stuff, but that's a whole different conversation for a different day. But Guys, this has been the Rare Podcast. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow us on Twitter, make sure you follow us on Instagram. You get me? It's been the Rare Podcast. We are signing out. Deuces. Catch you on the next one.